WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. A radio.com station. Now, live from the Malamut and Associates Law Studios. Welcome to Style Club Radio with Philadelphia's own Josh DeMarco, an international star who's reshaping the men's grooming business around the world.
Men's grooming is more than just hair, right? It's you know, there's a great saying, and it's so simple. It really is so simple. If you look good, feel good, you do good.
The co-host of Style Club Radio, it's Philly's superstar of design and self-proclaimed creator of tomorrow's unique style, Steve-Ella Sanchez.
You know what I mean? So it's basically a head-to-toe look. So with your clothes, your hairstyle, the facial hair, however you like carry yourself, you know, it's your accessories, all of that kind of has to go together.
This is Style Club Radio with Josh DeMarco, Steve-Ella Sanchez, Michelle Miller, and friends from around the fashion globe. Presented by True Beauty Concepts, one of Philadelphia's most iconic providers of everything style. And now, Style Club Radio. Style Club Radio.
Memorial Day weekend here in Philadelphia as we come to you on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. This is Style Club Radio with Josh DeMarco.
Welcome, Philadelphia. I hope you guys are enjoying your drive on this beautiful holiday weekend, and we have an action-packed show for you. As usual, I am Josh DeMarco with my amazing co-host, Steve-Ella Sanchez.
Hey, friends.
And with our, Michelle, what are you? Are you our co-host or a sidekick? Or just our
I am nobody's sidekick, sir.
What would you like to be called, Michelle?
Just on-air
boss
supporter.
Woman, boss lady.
That's right, boss lady.
And with our boss lady, Michelle Miller. Hey, Michelle.
Hello. Welcome, everyone.
I thought I was supposed to do that.
Oh, sorry. Stole Steve-Ella's thunder.
That's not easy to do.
No. Guys, we have a great show tonight. Our segments are usually one guest. So I think we've done two, but tonight we have three. Yeah. Yeah, so right now, whatever you're doing, turn it up because we have a lot to give you guys. And just before we start with our first guest, I'm just going to throw it out there because I know that our listeners definitely watch. The Game of Thrones season finale sucked. I'm just going to say it. All right, what do you think, Michelle?
Oh, I didn't love it either. It was terrible. I'm sure we'll dive deeper into that.
Wait, is that
later.
what you guys were talking about? Like, it was supposed to be like the highest production, blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
all this hype.
in television history.
Oh,
yeah.
And a dinosaur died or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Steve-Ella.
No, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Dinosaurs. There's no dinosaurs.
I mean a dragon.
A dragon, yeah. But I don't want to waste any more time, guys. We have three amazing guests, and we are broadcasting from Dapper. Dapper is an English word for really what is stylized, high fashion. It's a guy that looks great from head to toe. And if you're watching this, you'll see that the person I'm looking at right now also looks great from head to toe. And when I look at this man who I just met, I'll introduce in 2 seconds. He is a very dapper man. So you look great, Charlie.
Well, thank you.
But more importantly, guys, I want to pass this over to the owner, creator, the founder of Distante, which is a legendary men's custom bespoke suit company and tailor company. I don't want to get all tongue-tied, so Charlie, why don't you just go into who you are and tell us about your brand?
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course.
It's an honor and a privilege to be with your group, and I love this space here.
Oh.
This
Thank
space
you.
is unbelievable, very comfortable. Even while I'm on the air, as nervous as I could be, it's making me very relaxed to be in this space.
That's
It
awesome.
really is a nice space. So
Thank you.
For those of you who are out there, you should definitely come up and experience this. I think you'll enjoy this. And what I do and who I am. My name is Charlie Murata. I am the owner of Distante Clothing. We started our business back in 1983, and it was under the name Lawrence Murata Silva. First, we started a fine men's shop, not open to the public, on South Broad Street, in 1637 South Broad Street. No windows. It was just a regular townhouse. But when you came in, We had the bar. We had Claude Montana leather jackets for $5,000. We were the first with Loro Piana cashmere robes and blankets. At that time, they only had 3 items. They had robes, quilted slippers, and scarves.
Wow.
That was it. Now look what Loro Piana is today. That was back in 1986. And we were the first to get started with Khitan and Belvest. Now, these are names right now that they're top of their fields, but back then, no one knew what Khitan was. They thought it was a suit made in Japan. And,
sounds like it is.
And when we had 5 full-time tailors, and then we made our moves. We went from Lawrence Murata Silva we went up to the main line, and then we came back to Center City, and that's how we got the name Distante, because we ran the distance. We were started in film.
Like
As a matter of fact, I got started in this business in 1969, 2 blocks from my present store. It was at 108 South 13th Street. It was called Scott and Hunsaker. And that's how we got started, and I'm still taking care of the same people that I took care of back then.
Wow.
Now their grandchildren and their and their sons and daughters, because we do both men's and women's. And we do bespoke. True bespoke. That's a word that has been used and abused.
It has been abused. Even in the hair world, I hear this word bespoke all the time.
Bespoke. And it really is when you select, back in the day, the tailors in Europe, and when you selected your fabric, the fabric was bespoken for. But then it developed into other things. So now what we do, we have 3 different types of make. We have a basic made to measure, and which is out of Canada. And we also have bespoke, which is out of Italy. What we do, we make a pattern. You come in, we take your measurements, we cut the cloth, we make a try-on, we perfect it, have a couple of fittings, and then we send that to Italy. And that's done. No one does that. We're one of the few.
Just to clarify actually, Steve should answer this, but for people like listening at home, you do hear the word bespoke all the time, but having a true understanding of the meaning of that word, our in-house fashion designer, what does bespoke mean for the listeners at home?
I mean, it like he was saying.
That's what
earlier,
I just said.
Right.
Yeah.
It's what he was saying. Like, it's kind of like that fabric is already kind of spoken for.
But
They changed that. That over evolution, they changed it to mean different things.
Right.
They have bespoke wine.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, were the grapes bespoken for?
Right.
Yeah.
So if it was
Right.
a certain blend or it was a certain creation of fabric for a certain brand or a company, then they kind of owned that, and they would have to kind of switch it or change it or add something else to it to make it their own. Correct?
Yes. Now for sartorial splendor.
That is actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I grew up reading GQ, and this sartorialist, did I pronounce that right?
The sartorialist.
Yes, I can't even pronounce it. The guy always had the best advice, so I knew he was someone that gives advice.
But where did that come from?
We don't know.
Well, it came from the sartorial splendor. Well, when a tailor is sewing, he would place his elbow on the sartoria muscle. And that's where sartorial came from.
Oh, wow.
Handmade, custom made.
Well, nowadays you hear bespoke all over, and it's like, on the internet, on Instagram, you're constantly seeing like, oh, get your bespoke things.
Well, you can't
here.
have a bespoke suit of $300.
Right.
And I'm not knocking that.
Right.
And there are people that are doing that, but you can't get that at our stores. So.
That's like a spoke from a rim.
Right.
That's a spoke, not bespoke.
Well, I just think it's like important to clarify, especially for certain listeners. It's like you do hear that word all the time, and like to really be able to truly understand the depth of what it means and to be able to distinguish the quality.
Absolutely.
And getting back to what we do is, as I was mentioning, speaking with the other guest, I'm not just in the clothing business. I am in the service business. If you're not in the service business, clothing's the last thing I do. Service is what I really do. And we have the same that's why you keep clients for 50 years. and longer. So I expect to be doing this maybe for the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
I'm only 68, so I'll give it to 75. As long as I look good and feel good, that's all that matters.
Nice.
Well, you certainly look good.
So let's
you.
go into a little more depth about that, like you said, your service, and that's like the most important.
Just to bring up just one little item. Now, on my store, we sell, we're a small store. We sell about 1,400 custom shirts a year. And off-the-rack shirts. Every shirt that leaves my store leaves on a hanger pressed.
Oh.
Think about that. Think about where you've shopped or where you go to shop. And they wrap a beautiful, expensive shirt and...
Yep, you're listening. Sorry, someone's calling in to challenge your bespoke.
Okay. They didn't believe the sartorial definition. So, think about, and this happened to me when we first opened up on South Broad Street in 1983. There was a little write-up in the paper about a store opening in South Philadelphia. And this old bookie who used to shop with us in Center City came down to see us. And he bought this beautiful Pencaldi shirt. And we wrapped it and put it in a bag. He said, Charlie, I come down here to give you a play. You sell me a shirt for $265 and you put it in the bag. Now what am I supposed to go do? Go home, stand on my shorts and press the shirt? He said that to me in 1983. Since then, every shirt that left our store back then to today was always pressed on a hanger.
Wow.
That's just one thing. That's just one item. We do alterations.
Yep.
We have 2.5 tailors. Okay. We do outside alterations. Now, you get a lot of the baby boomers. They bought cashmere Khitan suits. They bought Brioni suits. Now, these cashmere Khitan suits today would retail for about maybe $13,000, $14,000. So these fellas are in their late 60s, early 70s. They don't want to redo a wardrobe, but they want to spice it up a little bit. They bring it in. We reduce the shoulders. We take in the armholes. We taper the sleeves, shorten the coat. Sometimes we remove pleats. Who does that work?
No one.
No,
Nobody.
And they'll say, buy a new suit. Well, I can't tell that to a person when I look at a garment that I sold this garment and say, look, buy a new suit. It's old. No.
Yeah,
If there's nothing wrong with it, there's no moths, in which we check, and then we cut it down for them. So some of them pay $1,300, $1,400 for a recut, but they're saving $12,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Who does that work?
Right.
Now,
right.
unless I'm wrong, because I know you used to, and you guys also do shoe alteration, correct?
Yes.
Because
yes.
I actually, that's another, to me, like I love these old, I don't know how to put it besides maybe like an old-timey profession, but I mean, I have boots that I want to get taken care of. Every winter I want them winterized.
That's right.
And the gentleman that used to work on 50.
Greg.
Yeah.
Gregory Kent.
And I followed him to you, and the guy does great work. So, I mean, that is like a dying profession.
That's all part of it. And you'd be surprised how many people come in every day. No different than people going to Starbucks. The same people come in every day to get their shoes shine.
Yeah.
And that's all part of the look.
But it's important, and like as we've gone into this era of fast fashion where everything is just disposable, and it's terrible. It's terrible for the environment. It's terrible for all kinds of things. But like, there's a huge trend of younger people kind of becoming awoken to like high quality things, and that means taking care of them, which means we need the artisans that are able to help you take that shoe into multiple years and take that suit into multiple phases of fashion, because it started off as a very high quality garment.
They need to be a spoken.
A spoken, yes. When you say that you also do women's, like what are some of the things that are?
We make clothing for women.
Okay.
We make jackets, blouses, shirts. We do their alterations. They buy jeans. A lot of women, they buy jeans and they can't get them cut properly.
Right.
We cut them down. We do everything. And overcoats. Beautiful cashmere wraps, some beautiful furs that we carry.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good one, but
Hey,
we'll delete this.
Maybe you're just repurposing the furs.
Yes.
There you go.
And we do that work. And right now we're dealing with a lot of the synthetics and the waterproofing. Like we do a lot of Loro Piana fabrics, overcoats, pure cashmere that are waterproof.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah.
Waterproof.
Yeah,
That's
amazing.
incredible.
But getting back to what I enjoy doing the most, I enjoy making collars.
Really?
And the shirt collar is the most important part of a man or a woman's garment. Because what you're looking at right now, you're looking at my face because my collar is designed for that purpose. Now, if you're giving a speech, you're on a podium, you're in front of a jury, you're in front of a judge, you don't want them looking all over. You want them looking at your face. And when you have the proper collar around your face, it makes your face looks like it's standing on a podium.
So the collar frames your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So are you not a fan of the collars that kind of bend up?
No.
I'm joking. Terrible.
I like certain collars.
Get collar stays, people.
Yes. And our shirts are 3-ply fusing.
Ooh.
Yeah, so our shirts never require starch. And if you want your clothing to last longer, or your shirts, no starch.
Okay.
No starch. And that's, you don't have to have your suits cleaned that often.
Yeah.
Yep.
Buy enough suits that you maybe wear the same suit once or twice a month.
Yeah.
And they last forever.
So Charlie, tell us again. We're wrapping up here. Where can people find you? Where can they come in? I've seen your. By the way, I mean, thank you for the compliment on my business. I've also been into yours. It's beautiful. You guys.
Thank you.
You really do have great stuff in there.
Thank you.
So where could people?
We are
where
at
could they find you?
1510 Sansom Street, 2 doors away from the Oyster House. It's an easy landmark. We have parking across the street. And just come on in. We can do your alterations if you buy things, or if you need a consulting about what looks great for weddings and things like that. That's what we specialize in.
One quick thing. I'm sorry to interrupt. Is the it says appointment only because I went on the site.
Yes.
So do you have to have an appointment to actually?
If I'm with a client, yes. But if I'm not, then if you just happen to come up to the door, sure, we'll let you in.
Okay.
I'd love to show people around.
So appointment recommended.
Yes. And we do off-the-rack clothing, not just custom. We have made-to-measure, off-the-rack, and people could come in and pick something up right away if they need it, and we could do same-day service. One more thing.
Yep.
I can make a suit in a week.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Yes.
Because it takes months.
You pick out your model, your lining, your fabric, and we can have a shirt made in a week for you. Ooh. There's a premium to pay for that.
Yeah.
But we can still do it. We can do. That's part of the service business.
So Charlie from Distante, thank you. You have gone the distance. I mean, for anyone listening, they know about our show. We're all about people that have really done something for the city and that truly love what they do, and clearly you do. So we really thank you for coming in and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You guys are very comforting. I really mean that. I'm not nervous at all. I feel great. I feel great.
Thanks, Charlie.
Great stuff.
This is Style Club Radio with Josh DeMarco, Steve LaSanchez, and Michelle Miller.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Charlie from Distante. We will definitely be checking you out. And guys, let's remember, Happy Memorial Day. Everybody's out there today having drinks, celebrating a holiday with friends. But, let's not forget all of our servicemen that have put their lives on the line for us to have this freedom and for us to to have these amazing holidays. I mean, we live in a great country, and it's, a huge part of that's because of all the servicemen and women that have served and are still serving. My father was in the military, and Michelle's father was in the military.
Absolutely.
So yes, big respect to all servicemen, and happy Memorial Day. And now we have another little added guest today. And speaking of South Philadelphia,
we're bringing that out now.
Our guests are from South Philadelphia. So now we have a good friend of mine. When I started my career about 10 years ago, I assisted her sometimes. And
yes.
Yep. And we have Judy Taraborelli in the studio. Right,
well,
Judy,
thank you so much.
welcome to Style Club Radio.
I feel so honored being here.
You should, Judy. You should. No, I'm joking. Just joking with you. No, Judy, we're really happy to have you here. And I got to say, you look great. So for everyone, you got your hair done today, got your makeup?
Got my hair and makeup
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you.
Who did
Beautiful.
your makeup?
Julie from Jason Matthew
Yeah.
and Nicole Nagel from Jason Matthew
Yeah,
did my
awesome.
hair. Yes.
So, Judy, I know
Sorry,
you
one
very
thing.
well.
Your lashes are on fleek.
Steve will notice.
It's all about lashes.
Oh boy, it is. They look really good. Your makeup looks. I love Julie.
thank you.
Julie's great.
So Judy, when we first talked about having you on your show, I think one thing that really just kind of hit home for me was this is such a hard industry that you and I are in. It
Yes.
really is. I mean, I've seen
Yes.
so many people come and go, right? And they get burnt out young or whatever it may be. And, you could tell more about yourself, but just for all of our listeners, I mean, again, like we always say, it doesn't really matter what you do. It's the point that, like, you have to love what you do.
Exactly.
Clearly you love what you do. So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about how you got into hair and just let our audience know who you are.
Well, ever since I was 2, I loved two. Well, my family was in the business.
Okay.
We had the hair salon in the basement. You're not
Nice.
allowed, but we did. So when I was a little kid, I used to love going down there. I love the smell of hairspray. God knows what that did to me now, but with the curls and everything. And I just, through the years, I've been in 30 plus years. What makes me get up every day is making people feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
When I'm done doing their hair and I turn them around and they smile, you don't get that in every job. I mean, believe me, there's the ones that you don't want to ever see again. But
We all have them. We all have them.
And but
Yes, we all do.
the majority, when they look and you can tell they feel so good about themselves, and I did that.
Yeah.
That's what makes me want to do the business every day.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I have
Yeah.
to jump in for a second because I have an obsession with the smell of Aquanet. My mother used to spray it like crazy, like
Yes.
every morning.
Childhood memory.
Yeah.
It was like, it just
Right?
makes me happy.
And nothing compares to Aquanet. You can go in a hurricane and your hair still looks perfect. They don't make products like that anymore.
That was like glue.
Yes.
But Judy, you said something that also Charlie had said, right? You're in it's like you do hair, he does custom clothing, but you guys you're in the service, you're the
We're-
people business, right?
And I think for young people getting into this, they don't realize that.
Yeah.
Like, we are servicing people, whether they're 10 minutes late, early, like we're there for them.
Yep.
They're paying your salary.
Yeah.
And if you already put up that line that like, oh, I'm too good, they're late or this, get out of the business. It's a service industry. Put that aside, and then you have all the talent and all the other stuff that comes with it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I see that all the time. People, they run late, and people are like, well, I can't do your hair now because you're 5 minutes late. I shared a story the other day that somebody was 4 minutes late, and the stylist lost their mind on them. They lost their mind. I'm like, come on, 4 minutes?
Well, I grew up in the business where if they were 4 minutes late, they made another appointment.
Yeah.
There's too much talent out there now.
Yep.
Like,
Those days are gone.
Those days are gone.
Yep.
So now you have to, why are they going to come back to me? Like, I give a great haircut, I give a great color, but now it comes to the service part.
Of course.
People want to feel respected when they're in your chair also, that you're not rushing them, and all that stuff.
I mean, and guys, chime in as well. But as people that get your hair done, you really hit home with that, Judy. I mean, there's someone that I look up to a lot in this industry once told me if every single person in Philadelphia wanted their hair done right now, there wouldn't even be enough people to do it.
Exactly.
There really wouldn't. So really great advice you're giving is build your clientele no matter what you do. Your clients are your bread and butter. I used to educate a lot with the company, and they would all, and I got in this for a small period of time. I started thinking that I was, I want to be educator, screw my clients. And then it dawned on me, your clients are really...
They're the ones that...
Everything.
Yeah.
They're everything.
They're everything.
They're
everything.
they are. They come religiously. They support you. They bring us Christmas gifts. Yeah.
Birthday presents.
Birthday presents.
So does that make up for them being late?
No, Steve, because you're always late.
Well, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. I have a confession and a problem that I'm usually always late. Even today I was late for an appointment, and she was a witness, and I was like, here I go again.
I know. I do want to say for all the clients out there, just because these two gracious hairstylists else. They're like, we're in the service industry, and people are like, don't be late. Okay. The answer is don't be late. Either way, because I was going to say as a client as well, patron, I do. It is tough when you have a really busy schedule and your service provider is running late. That's a tough one as well when you have to.
I'll give you the words my father used to tell me. If you're not 10 minutes early, you're late.
Yeah.
Right, Michelle?
Right.
No, I don't know. I just made that up.
I could see your dad saying that, though. He's very...
So, Judy, how do you, let's give some inspiration. It's 30 plus years. I mean, at any level, good for you. I mean, you stayed with the job for 30 years.
Yeah. Well, what inspires me is people like you, the young people. I never stop learning.
Yep.
When I go into work, and if I'm not even doing anything, and an assistant is blow drying hair, I'll sit and watch them because I learn something new every day.
Always.
As an older stylist, when you stop that, then you might as well put your scissors down.
Yeah.
You have to keep in mind, I know I can go in there and do a haircut and I could do this and I can carry on a full day. But without the young people coming in and showing me the new and me willing to learn that, that's it.
I agree. I think that's so important. Even the fashion industry. I mean,
100%.
It used to be everything was done by hand, draping, sketching, all that. Now it's become such a part of everything's on the computer.
Right.
And I'm old school. They're oh, Photoshop, click this, click that, and it's boom, done in 2 seconds. And I'm I have no idea I made that happen. Great. But now, I mean, I've always had to educate myself as well to make sure that I'm kind of staying up with everything that's changing and happening.
Right. I mean, education is key. I mean, it is. It's huge in our industry. It's huge in every industry. Even if you look at the world, if you turn on the news, if you look at poverty, why are people poor? They're uneducated, right? So a life lesson is be educated, people. Take school seriously. Take your career seriously. I mean, yeah.
And ask a lot of questions. I always ask questions.
Oh, I ask a lot of questions.
And Josh, I came to you a couple of times and I'm like, oh my God, this guy wants the clipper part. And you're like, I got it. Come on. And I watch you do it. And this, I'm not scared to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then that's where your career will die. I always want to learn. Yep.
And it's good to ask people too, Judy, because what if you try doing that yourself and you don't know what you're doing, and God forbid you mess them up, that's the end of them.
That's it.
It's so important because there's that whole term that's been thrown around a lot, and it's fake it till you make it.
Yep.
And I don't agree with that phrase.
I kind of don't either, honestly.
Yeah, I don't agree with it because I think you can't fake something like talent and
you can't fake
education.
A good haircut.
Right.
You can't fake.
There's some things you can fake.
Right. I guess there is. Right. I guess there is.
But not that.
Yep.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to somebody that wants to get into the hair world right now or is looking at maybe or anything? What is something that if you can sit here and just think, even if it takes you 10 seconds to think about it, what is something that you really contribute to your success besides just education?
Well, when you do something with your heart and passion, it'll be perfect. I was never the best. It took me a long time to get a straight line. I was always slow. And my first boss way back then said, you know what? You have such a great personality. We're not going to make you an assistant. We're going to make you behind the desk because everybody likes talking to you. And I'm like, I love this business so much that if that's where I'm going to have to be, then that's where I'm going to have to be. And I did it for 2 years. Wow. And I was like, but I really want to do hair. And he's like, I just don't think you have what it takes. I'm like, well, just give me a shot. And I went in every day, 6 days a week, and I had a baby. It didn't matter. I tried.
And now that baby has a baby.
And now my baby has a baby. But I loved it so much. And I feel like for me and for the people out there that love it so much, but maybe they're not as talented yet as just give it all. Go in every day with that, and you will be successful.
Stay hungry.
You will be, yes, that's it.
I love that.
Judy, I love that. Really, I do. You're a big inspiration. I mean, I've worked with you for 10 years, and, I look up to you as well. I do.
Aww.
You're so positive every day. You really are. So positivity is infectious. Stay hungry. And, Judy, where can our audience find you if they want to check you out or if they want to?
At Jason Matthew Salon on 18th and Chestnut.
Yep. And
I'm there 4 days a week.
And do you have
9 to
Instagram?
closing.
Instagram?
I do, Judy Taraborelli.
And how do you spell your name?
TARABORRELLI.
Yep.
Judy.
There it is.
I love it.
Thank you, Judy. Thanks for spending time with
Thank
us.
you, guys. It was great.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks,
Judy.
Judy.
Now back to Style Club Radio with Josh DeMarco, Steve Sanchez, and Michelle Miller.
All right, everybody. For everyone listening on the radio, we are also streaming live right now on Facebook.com, and we'll have more exclusive content from our incredible guests on Instagram and IGTV at Style Club Radio.
Yes, guys, and I have been talking my little face off, as I usually do, but we've had two amazing guests. Let's pass
Amazing.
the mic to Steve-Ella because I personally love your tip of the week.
Oh,
Just the tip?
Just the tip.
Just the tip of the week, yes.
Okay.
That was my lead in. So can you give us just your tip of the week?
Okay, just my tip. It's a short tip this week, but it's put your own personality into what you wear. I mean, if you really truly everybody has to wear something to work, depending if it's casual or dressy, but just give it a little bit of flavor of your own, twist to it. Because I think it's just going to make you feel a little bit more confident and just better about what you're wearing that day. I think it's really important.
Yeah, I love
What
that.
about your Just the Tip, DeMarco?
Well, my just the tip of the week is actually, I'm going to piggyback off of what Charlie said because if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of perfectly fit clothing, not bespoke, as I would have said before, just very tailored. I mean, it's funny. I've done exactly what he recommended. Take old suits, get them refit, redo suits. So guys, get your clothes. It doesn't matter what body shape or body size you are. Just to really grab a great tailor. Right?
Yes, and that
Like Charlie,
reminds
yeah.
me of my just the tip last week, where if you're going to throw something out,
Yep.
really do
Repurpose
it right, repurpose it. Hey guys, again, Steve-Ella on Instagram, you got to send me photos so we can send me a photo of something that you are thinking about throwing out, but it can just be retailored. It's that easy.
That easy.
Yeah.
Maybe you can collaborate with Charlie at Distante.
Yes,
and do
I would
some
love it. That's what he
projects.
does, right?
Yeah,
He went the distance. Can you go the distance?
I know, Steve.
So what are you guys doing tomorrow on beautiful Sunday?
Well, I am looking forward to spending a little time with our godson and being outside.
Enjoying the weather?
Yeah, I think it's important to really take advantage of holidays. We all work so hard, and to have these moments like this to sit down and remember why we're so lucky. It's,
Yeah, that's
gotta do a
amazing.
little something.
What about you, Steve-Ella? What do you
Well, I'm actually probably going to work all weekend. I'm doing a rehearsal dinner gown for a very good friend of mine. And so there's a lot of hand beating involved. So I'll just be working away.
him beating away. I'm going to
Yeah.
give Steve a shout out because you showed me the drawing you did of your friend's dress. It is absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to see it. So
You're
when
gonna have
that
to share on Instagram.
When that is
Yeah.
done, you are definitely going to model that for us. You're going to wear it.
I'll wear it. Yes, it might not fit. I probably can't zip it up the back, but I'll try.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to turn around.
I'll just do a front view.
How about you, DeMarco? What are you doing?
What am I doing? Well, you know what I'm doing. The last 5 weeks, it's been freaking raining, so I hope to finally finish staining the fence in the backyard. I mean, what is every holiday for me? All I do, it's the holidays
love
for me
that.
are days off, right? So it's I get to finally do something that isn't my career, right? So I'm actually looking forward to doing a little bit of housework, as
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's very important. Even though people are I'm not working, so I want to do nothing. But even when I say that to myself, I'm always doing
You're
something.
always doing
Yeah.
something,
Right, like a project or sketching, or it's just something. It's just you just don't stop.
Yeah, and finally, it seems like we're having a good spring in Philadelphia for once, because it's
Yes.
always gone from winter to 1 week of spring to the freaking hottest summer ever.
Right.
So I will enjoy this weekend with hopefully barbecue, stain my fence, and that's that.
Right.
Well,
That's
I'm
awesome.
so fun, guys.
You should show a picture of your stained fence.
we have another great guest coming up. He's an incredible Philadelphian. So after this break, we're going to talk to Jackson Duncan of Focused Athletics.
Looking forward to it.
Nice.
This is Style Club Radio with Josh DeMarco, Steve Sanchez, and Michelle Miller.
All right, everyone. If you are listening, you could be tuning in and watching us. We are streaming live right now on Facebook at Style Club Radio, and we'll have some exclusive content for you on our Instagram page at Style Club Radio. We're here with an amazing Philadelphian, a local developer for Odin Properties and the founder of Focus Athletics, Jackson Duncan. Welcome, Jackson.
Thanks for
Welcome,
having me.
Jackson.
I'm just lucky to be here. I don't know if that's right place at the right time.
Jackson was just the keynote speaker at an event that we were all at, the Big Brothers Big Sisters Building Big Awards, talking about his incredible story. I know that you were an alumni little, but since then you have grown up, worked with Odin Properties and now founded Focus Athletics. Tell us a little bit about Focus Athletics.
So Focus I founded in 2015. The city was so full of talented young men who really didn't have the opportunities that they needed to get to the college level. So we started, in a field working out, and then got a couple hours of donated space at a gym. Then 5 guys showed up, then 10 guys showed up, then 20 guys showed up, and they said, "Coach, I heard you give free workouts." I said, "I guess I do." Then kids came and said, "Hey, we got SATs, we need your help." So then we started the academic aspect of Focus Athletics, and all these volunteer tutors started coming and really donating their time volunteering with us. Kids from Penn, Drexel, all over the place, really investing in these young men. Then we started the job placements aspect, where we started getting the young men jobs, and now at this point we've put 85 kids into college. We have currently 35 young men in the program, all areas of the city, all just really hungry to get to that college level and to make their mark. And we just figured we would make it a little bit easier and kind of back up the resources that were needed. And our average SAT score is going up over 100 points per kid.
Wow.
We have kids working all over the place. Philadelphia has come behind us so much in this donations, as far as food donations, Qdoba, you got Shake Shack, you got all these incredible companies. The Eagles just dropped off last week, probably $3-4 grand in cleats, shoes. I mean, we started this, we literally had kids bleeding through their shoes, taping them up, try to keep going. And then this happens, so a kid, gets a good SAT score, boom, you get a fresh pair of cleats, look like $1 million, look good, feel good, play good, and then, be able to end game is them come back to Philadelphia and touch these communities they're coming from. And the next generation of young men who are looking for that strong male role model will get that, and then keep on going and keep on going. Just a huge ripple effect of good stuff.
Yeah, and just to hone in on that, Focus Athletics really works with athletic young men, and especially in football. And so when we're talking about all these incredible guys that are off in college now, many of them are playing Division I football, right?
Absolutely.
And the workouts, they made me work out with them once and they almost killed me, but really heavily in that kind of football mentality on the workouts. And then you've diversified that too with yoga and other cool things.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we definitely try to make the kids things they would never imagine. Our partnership with City Fitness has been incredible, as far as they donate this gorgeous space, 1819 JFK, every week. You got turf, you got prowlers, you got everything. The kids just walking in. You'd be surprised, a lot of our guys that live in North Philly, Southwest Philly, don't come to Center City. Just no reason to. So they come in and they see all these excellent resources. We're doing a program this summer with some of our younger guys at the Racket Club, and when they first walk into the Racket Club, they're just like, "Oh my God, this is," and these guys are taking their time to invest in me, which is a whole nother aspect of pride and self-worth, and really building these young men into, again, the future leaders who are going to be coming back and making the changes in Philadelphia that we really need to see.
And knowing some of the challenging circumstances that some of the young men in your program face that you guys are working every day to combat, what are some ways that people listening now, knowing how ridiculously hard you work, how ridiculously hard everyone on your team works, how can they support you guys? What do you guys need right now to help continue your work?
Well, there's time, treasure, talent. That's the, obviously our website, focusathletics.org, is, you donate through there, but also people are looking for places to volunteer. If tutoring, SAT prep every Wednesday night, and it's not, you get the test beforehand, it's basic comprehensive reading, mathematics, it's not super difficult. Also resume building, college applications. You want to help a kid write a college essay, we're not asking for it, it's all a la carte. You can do an hour a week, you can do an hour a month, you can do an hour every 6 months, whatever you want to do. Just email the info@focusathletics.org. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm looking to help here. And that's what's made us really successful, because this whole network of volunteers has come together from all different walks of life in the city of Philadelphia and kind of meshed together all in one common goal of getting these men now to college. So, we take volunteers. There's so many different. Actually, it's great. I was just talking to Charles, and he said, "Look, I got some old suits." I said, "Prom's coming up. We have kids that need suits." So there you go. That's how beautiful the good people do good things, and it all is just. It's really amazing. I mean, just looking back.
Really quick question though. So how did the kids get involved in this? How do or the boys or the men find you guys?
Well, we have certain feeder schools that we work with. Okay. Right now, we're open. As far as literally, you're an inner city student athlete, you can show up on Wednesday, you sign up, you do your new student. Now, how long we're going to be able to do that, I'm not sure, as we have a massive turnout. And luckily, like I said, Qdoba, $7 meals. We're trying to work with our friends at SEPTA to give us some passes, but that can be...
We need help, SEPTA.
Look, you can work with your friends at Dapper, because we're giving you guys some haircuts.
That's what I heard. It's really amazing. We actually, as you know, I'm also a foster father, and my youngest son, Kevin, came and got his haircut.
Yep.
And he just got out of, he's been in the group home for about 2 years, and then incarcerated before that since he was about 13. And he came here and looked fantastic, and you guys did an awesome job, and you made a kid who's been through severe trauma feel like $1 million.
And that's what it's all about, Jackson. You guys have a great company, a great cause. We're really excited to hear a lot more of what you're doing, and thanks for doing what you're doing in Philadelphia, and thanks for coming on our show today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And anyone who wants to learn more, you can find out more on Instagram. We'll be going one-on-one with Jackson Duncan.
All right, well, thanks to all our guests today. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and we can't wait to see you guys next week. From myself, Steve-Ella, and Michelle.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
This program is a paid commercial announcement and in no way represents the views of WPHT or its management.